everyone, and welcome to another edition of Midweek Minutes. This past Sunday, we started the second chapter in the book of Philippians, and our passage was verses 1 to 4. Pastor Mike entitled the message, Vital Signs. Now, we know that vital signs are the natural or basic functions that help to determine how well you're doing health-wise. He outlined that there are 6 spiritual vital signs that we all have that help us to gauge how we're doing spiritually. Those 6 signs were encouraging and comforting, fellowship and sympathy, and love and unity. Let me read the passage for you. This is the Apostle Paul speaking. He says, "Is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from his love? Any fellowship together in the Spirit? Are your hearts tender and sympathetic? Then make me truly happy by agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, loving one another, and working together with one heart and purpose." There was a point that really stood out to me. It says that a healthy body cares and connects with others deeply. Let's go back to a healthy body. A few weeks ago, I went to do my annual checkup, which is a good thing to do just to make sure that you're doing okay health-wise. Now, my blood work all came back very good, but my doctor prescribed a precautionary CT scan. He wanted to see if there was any blockage in my arteries. Now, the arteries are the vessel that pump blood from the heart to other parts of the body. And if plaque builds up in the arteries, there can be a blockage that causes a problem, and it's a thing that you need to take care of immediately. Now, in the same way, in the spiritual realm, there can be blockages that disrupt our connection to God, and we have to be able to course correct and do something about it. So regardless of how well you're doing or how well you're not doing spiritually, it's a good idea to check your vital signs to make sure things are going well. Now, I'm here in the garden, and one of the things I love to do is water my plants. It just gives me such satisfaction. But it can be hard work because I got a lot of plants in different gardens. So I came up with a solution. I have these irrigation systems throughout my yard, and they're on a timer, and it takes the load off of me having to water the plants on my own. This enables the water to flow because these black tubes, they're connected to other black tubes, and they're connected to the main source of water. And so the water is able to flow, and the plants are able to flourish in this type of environment. Well, the key is connection. And just as that is with the plants and the water system, the key for believers is connection. We have to be connected to each other and connected to God so the love of God can flow. We're to be a conduit. We're to be a vessel so God and his love can flow through us. I remember years back, my little son, Austin, who's not so little anymore, he's going to be 16. Wow, 16 this year. He used to get together with his friends, and they had this toy called Beyblades. There were these spinning tops, and they would get together for hours in the room playing with these tops. They would allow the tops to race or to battle each other. And the way they would get things started, they would use the pull cord, and they would say, "Let it rip." Now, we're not to just be going through this life. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen, barely getting by. We're supposed to be flourishing. We're supposed to let the love of God rip. Our vital signs are to be tip-top. And how do we do that? By assessing periodically how we're doing. We have to be able to take a spiritual heat check. You know how they do in basketball? When someone's on fire and they're taking their jumper for a spin? We have to do the same thing. We have to assess how we're able to comfort and encourage each other, the fellowship and the sympathy we have towards each other, the love and the unity, and then let it rip. Well, I thank you again for joining me for another edition of Midweek Minutes, and I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye for now. Check those vital signs.